Hi guys, it's Mark from Totally Silenced Tech. Now today we are reviewing a PC with a very small form factor. This is the MSI NightBlade MI2. Now pre-built PCs are not only very convenient, but they have been around a very long time. But suddenly sales for pre-built gaming PCs are becoming very popular. As many of you have heard time and time again, it's always cheaper to build a PC yourself, as companies always seem to put a huge markup on the price. I wanted to see if this myth with custom PCs and pre-built PCs still remains true, as compared to other brands still selling pre-built gaming PCs, the price for the NightBlade seemed pretty good for its specs. So I went ahead and I built a PC part picker build on PCpartpicker.com and matched the NightBlade specs as closely as I could. Now my PC part picker build came in just over £633. Now that's not including some of the software and the Bluetooth and the wireless capabilities that you get with the NightBlade itself, but the NightBlade comes in at just under £700, so there really isn't a lot in it. So how does the NightBlade MI2 make up for the extra £66 that it costs? Well, one big thing that would appeal to its target audience, and that's form factor. The NightBlade is ridiculously small for its specs, with only a body size of 10 litres. For gamers that go to LAN parties that need a PC to be moved from place to place, the convenience of the NightBlade certainly helps make up the £66 price difference. So high-priced pre-built gaming PCs aren't always a million miles away in cost from custom PCs, and MSI have certainly kept the price competitive. You're able to buy two versions of the NightBlade MI2, one with slightly lower specs, which I have here, coming in at £699, which features a Skylake Intel Core i5-6400, which is clocked at 2.7 GHz but can run at 3.3 GHz with turbo boost. Now the graphics card supplied is the MSI GTX 960. The more premium version of the NightBlade MI2 comes in at a price of £999, which comes with an i7-6700, one GTX 970 and a super fast PCIe Gen 3 SSD. Apart from the CPU, the GPU and the storage, the two versions of the NightBlade MI2 are exactly the same. Now I'm going to run through with you guys the specs of both versions that are left apart from the GPU, the CPU and the storage, but they are 8GB of DDR4 RAM, which is running at 2133 MHz, and it can be upgraded to 16GB of DDR4 RAM later down the road if you decide to or choose to. Now the motherboard isn't named, but it's on an Intel B150 chipset. You have an inbuilt DVD rewritable optical drive, you have wireless connectivity, you have Bluetooth 4.2, and lastly you have a 350 watt bronze certified PSU, which will be plenty for the system. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the exterior of the NightBlade MI2. You will find a well-designed front which has been designed in keeping with its gamer roots. The infamous MSI Dragon logo takes pride of place, which is illuminated with a white LED. But if we look further down, we have two LED lights on either side which can be customized fully in the MSI gaming software with effects such as permanently on, gradient, audio and breathing, or they can be turned off entirely. If we move slightly across to the front plate's right side, you'll find the on-off power button, also a USB Type-C port thanks to the Skylake platform, and a normal USB Type-2 port. Even further down we get a headphone jack and a microphone jack, so even though this PC is so small, it doesn't compromise on features. But just for you to get an idea of how small this PC actually is, it doubles up as a rather nice headphone stand. Very fashionable. Pulling the cover off, at first glance we get to see two bays, one occupied by the Western Digital 1TB hard drive and one for adding extra storage. Further up we get to see how easy adding an SSD is into the NightBlade, and I have to say how well thought out this PC actually is. But looking at the side we get to see the GTX 960, and it's pretty amazing how they managed to fit it all in. We also have an M.2 slot for adding extra storage and a SO DIMM slot for adding extra memory, both conveniently placed on the back of the motherboard for easy access. Looking at the very back of the PC, it reveals features normally found on much higher end builds. The GTX 960 provides 3 display ports and 1 HDMI 2.0 connection, allowing for multi-monitor setups. Now also the motherboard's rear provides audio connections for surround sound, 4 USB 3.0 ports and 2 USB 2.0 ports. Moving on to the performance, after playing several games with the NightBlade, it performed extremely well. Temperatures of the GPU never hit anything higher than 73 degrees Celsius, and not a single core on the CPU ever hit anything above 60 degrees Celsius, which I was surprised at. I thought I was going to see temperatures about 10 degrees hotter from a case so crammed full of hardware, especially with a desktop GPU like the 960. But what kind of FPS are you looking at in modern titles? Well, Rise of the Tomb Raider ran absolutely great at 1080p with a mix of medium and high settings, and the NightBlade never dipped below 60 FPS. CSGO, for example, max settings, it ran it at a breeze, the 960 hitting frames way into the hundreds at max settings. Racing games like Project Cars, you'll see well over 60 FPS with a mix of medium to high settings, and the NightBlade ran Rocket League like a breeze. So as a summary, rounding off now, the NightBlade MI2 from MSI packs a serious punch for its weight, matching PCs 3 or 4 times its size. The fact that it comes so well built and upgradable means that for LAN parties it's the perfect choice. Even as a main PC, the NightBlade is well priced, ending all myths and stories that custom PCs are always cheaper, because the craftsmanship, the flexibility and convenience that MSI brings to the table with the NightBlade MI2 is worth every extra penny it costs. There was a time when anyone seen buying a pre-built PC would have been laughed at by the PC community due to the fact of how much a pre-built PC costs. Well, this isn't an Alienware, guys, this is the MSI NightBlade. But MSI have done an excellent job with the NightBlade. They have successfully changed my opinion on pre-built PCs, and maybe a little down the road when I can afford one, I might pick one up. Now a massive shout out to MSI for sending the NightBlade out for review, and it's going to be sad to see him go. But you've been listening to Mark from Totally Silenced Tech. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Goodbye.